Okay, we got the passenger front fender off, and pretty crusty, but not ruined. Actually, it's all solid still. Still lots of, still like new here. That's good. So pretty grubby, and good that it's getting cleaned up, but not ruined by any means. Let's have a look at the fender itself. Fender's quite bad, actually. Hole there, almost completely gone here. That's going to require some effort, but whatever. What was the inside? Oh yeah, it's just completely gone inside, totally gone.
Knackered.
Yeah, so that'll take a few minutes, but whatever. Really, you know, if that was a Chevy half-ton, you would be like, oh, that ain't bad, right? I mean, that's okay. Let's pull that guard off of there, and then we'll probably pull these guards. We'll pull that. We're gonna pull all this and pull the battery.
Okay.
And man, the wires are starting to pile up though. Woohoo!
Well, I haven't used that much tape really.
Well, we've got the front guard off, exposing the suspension here, and another guard coming off here. Holy hey!
Looks like a terrarium.
I think we're. What was that? This is like a Time Team episode. Remember that show? Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna put a trench right through here, and Mick's gonna come in and. Jesus, is that? Oh yeah. Well,
kind of looks like the inside of
it's largely organic. Holy. Okay. Well.
Nice.
So much for that. That'll tidy up. Yeah. Look at how good it is, though. We didn't suffer any real damage. Considering it could have been absolutely destroyed by now, and it's not. So that's really good news again. So we'll clean that up and have another look. Yeah, it's fascinating, and it's a bit, you know, you don't want to be cynical because it's too easy with a car like this. I mean, I don't know, it's the mechanical equivalent of like trying to make fun of Jerry Springer. It's really, what is it? It's just a car. Just take it apart. Take it apart, fix all the dents and the whatever, right?
Screws and
big
bolts,
dent, hammer the dents out. There's just a lot of it. There's just like 9 or 10 of everything.
It's just not
and day 2. Supplies low, morale failing, funding gone. I've only phoned the Richard Suicide Prevention SM hotline twice, and he didn't even answer. Like, it's all right. It's okay, Richard. It's okay. You'll answer one of these days. Yep. Because you know what the thing is? You know what he's going to say? He's just going to say, you just have to take it apart and fix it. Snap out of it and get this car taken apart. We got the glass thing off the front. And look at the sweet headlights. There's going to be some soul searching about the European front end. Okay, I mean...
do it.
I want to do it, you know, but it's not going to make an already difficult job easier when half the shit is missing. I mean, I have half of it, which is pretty good. But no matter what, I guess all this has to come apart. See, I think we got this figured out. I think if you take a few things, and then you take these, there's 6 larger bolts under there, maybe we'll get the battery out first, I don't know. And then the whole front of the car comes off, possibly all at one time. And then it can be disassembled from there. This is roughly halfway through the battery replacement protocol on an SM. We've decided to go through with the process. So if you're doing one of these, buy a good battery. What other pieces are over there? There's the lower pan, the grill's off. Front end indeed came off with 6 easy to access screws. And now we can see we're getting down to actual structure, several layers beneath all the pretty stuff. is the actual downtown of the car. So it looks, yeah, these are actually replaceable frame rail extensions that can be changed after an accident. So that's kind of cool. These cars have an air horn setup and an electric horn setup. So that's not that's something that Citroen like to do. And are we gonna have to go through the whole, how do you pronounce Citroen? Citroen. We've heard it all. Citroen. I've heard it. Don't let's not worry about it. People get worked up about, oh, you're not pronouncing it. Well, you know.
Isn't that French?
Hey, at least I bought 12 of them. You know, these seem pushed over ever so slightly.
Yeah, but the other side's...
Yeah, but it's pushed the same way.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that that's accident damage that's been replaced many years ago.
Yeah, that's actually pretty burly part, that headlight bucket.
It is, yeah. You can't really tell.
It's not.
It looks like it's plastic or fiberglass, but it's a big casting of
like
aluminium. God, between the aluminium and the Citroen,
yeah.
look, it's aluminum and Citroens. Citroens have aluminum parts. Aluminum, and they turn dusty. Now this has to all be stripped.
See more boat stuff.
Yeah, it's the should have bought a yacht challenge. Look, we've adapted a proper Canadian fucking hood.
Yeah.
None of this flimsy.
The Alberta hood prop.
This is the Alberta grade hood prop. God, I blew the budget. Really, the whole budget was on those clutch seals. Right, that was it. So nothing else better be wrong with this thing, because those clutch seals were like, we've bought entire cars for less than that. Two little rubber goddamn things. We have some of the inner wheelhouse area cleaned up on the SM now, and you can see really how exceptional the condition of it is, considering it could have been quite badly rusted. Yeah, everything is in excellent shape as far as we can see. A certain amount of maintenance to do. There are grease zerks for these bits. I suspect there's grease to go in these. These are large needle bearing housings here for everything to rotate with no stiction or friction, for that matter. Everything very very strong and very heavy. Nice castings here that support the suspension. Suspension is an upper and lower trailing arm, forged steel. You know, gigantic bearing here. This is the actual bearing. It's just massive, really impressive. Very similar to the D. Similar setup with the rack here. Yeah, everything in excellent shape. Still lots of grease. Boots are good. This is very good news. This is all still good here and good here. So that's again very lucky. These also prone to eventually cracking and leaking, and these are in excellent shape. No indication that they're going to fail anytime soon. The rear ones may be worse because they're exposed to a little more weather. So good news there, and really not too much to panic about here. Just a bit of cleaning, and already everything looks quite good. I've unbolted all the battery tray sheet metal here. There's a shield that goes over all this. Shield that goes here. Battery tray support is in here. That has meant that this has come away. That means that will all have to be adjusted to fit the hood again. Yeah, anyway, that is a very short look at what's going on in there. Now we're going to pull these shields off the side. This is it's a little surface scum, but that's all very good, very savable. So yeah, nice to have a little bit of good news here, and really, again, the car is it's a treat to work on for the most part. Really, once you put it out of your head that you're going to get this done in a couple of minutes, it's actually quite fun to explore all the thinking behind these cars. Even if some of the thinking may have been slightly unconventional, really there's no arguing with the experience of driving it, which is something we hope to get to later. Hey Frankers, I see you've been doing some housekeeping. Are you going to clean that up for me, please? Frankers, what are you doing? You can tidy that up for me, please? Hey? I'm quite happy about that, eh? Here comes the boss. Cleaning the oil cooler. It's in excellent shape. I don't see any reason to completely disassemble something like that. There's nothing wrong with it. The oil cooler lines are already been replaced by Richard very recently, so that's good. The suspension is just getting cleaned up, and then we'll do our maintenance on it. Just so much nicer to work on. It's not a mess. So, speaking of mess, wiring, one of the things that we took off was this is the compressor that runs the air horns. These Citroens have a town country air horn, or electric horn, and an air horn. So, I've just been kind of curious what makes this little tiny air compressor make such loud horns, and it looks to us like this is just a small electric motor. It's actually quite heavy, and the air pump has to be completely self-contained in this. Only on the SM do you get a horn that needs monthly servicing. Okay, let's pull the thing apart and see what it looks like. That's it. Right?
It's unlikely. It's not impossible.
Yeah, that comes off separately.
Is there a lip on that? Yeah, it looks like there's a lip that it sits over.
This, it just seems to only be, see how it's all loose everywhere. Loose, 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 except right here.
Well,
and that is...
it's got a thread out. There's no way it would give that much resistance.
Yeah. It's definitely a separate piece, so there's, oh, there it goes. Once you clean the oil off of it, it actually comes out quite easily. Now, go gently slide this off of here. Does it blow up?
All that was just a cover, really.
Yeah, that's just the mount. So there's not really that much wiser, but we did a better job cleaning it.
Yes. When restoring your SM, make sure
see horn service manual section.
The disassembly, the removal, disassembly, and repair.
There. Shine it up nice now. Well, if we were restoring the car, this would all have to get stripped and painted, but no, not today. What we need to do is test if it works, and if it works, nothing else matters, right? We don't need any of that stuff to test if it works, but we'll put it back together anyway. We'll put it on the, we'll just put a battery to it, and we won't see that anymore, eh? That's a whole other electric motor just to run the second set of horns. That's what I like about these kind of cars. Thus, into there, around there, and see if it works after all that. Positive. Oh, which one's positive? Do you think it matters?
Well,
I don't think it matters.
Is it a permanent magnet, or well, it shouldn't really matter, in theory.
Right.
We'll soon find out.
Okay. 12 volt, 2 amp. Grab this guy, plug this in. Perfect. Nothing wrong with it. Still a few things to do. Still a few.
A few, he says.
Well, more tidying to do on the SM. These are the little aluminum ducts that duct air to the brakes to keep them cool. You know, they're damaged and bent, but not totaled. They're not really terrible, but they definitely are not awesome. This one, a little less damage, a little less gross. Still not terrible. This is the main shield on the bottom of the engine. Has gotten some damage over the years to the point where a rotor has been touching it on the one side there. Oh, it looks like it was touching here too. So we'll see if we have a better one. If not, that's not really a deal breaker. That's just kind of too bad, but it's quite badly caved in here, so we'll pound it all back together and see if we can sort it out. Not a big deal. We've exposed the front side of the transmission here, and let's see, oops, allows us to have a look at the brake rotors and calipers back there. Everything actually looks pretty good. You can see here, these wires here are actually go into the brake pad, and when it wears to a certain extent, it will ground out on the rotor and a light will come on the dash. A brake pad wear warning light, also found on the D model. Yeah, so just more weird stuff that these cars have. I'm just gonna do a bunch of cleaning so that this is all just that much nicer to work on. We don't see any catastrophes, just kind of grungy. This caliper might need a little more work. It does look a little more damp, so we'll have to see if there's in fact a leak there, and if so, then that's all gonna have to come apart. So, yeah, anyway, SM light maintenance continues. Get some.
It would almost make sense that they did that. I mean, one of the few things that they did.
Yeah. This is a something I'd always heard and wanted to see if it was true, was that they use the same casting to hang the suspension and the same control arms as they did on the D model. This is the front suspension main unit from a D, same bearing, same ball joint. I think the arms are the same. This casting is actually the same. It's very slightly modified here to mount the height corrector valve thing. Yeah, but I believe it's true because this is for the passenger side of a DS, and it is virtually identical to where I think you could just bolt it on and probably drive it. Yeah, weird Citroen trivia. Well, where are you gonna get that, eh? Watch out, roadkill. We got Citroen control arm fucking trivia showdown. What we day 4, sanity slipping. You heard it here. There's nobody else
Maybe
who put
not
that.
first, but
Maybe not
again.
first, but again, you heard it here again. Rumor confirmed. Even the lumps and bumps on the castings are all in the same place. Oh, let's get a look under here. Been busily cleaning up the transmission here to check for leaks or damage. So far, nothing really to cry about, so good. There you go, done. That was easy, hey? How long did that take? A few minutes?
Yeah.
Good enough. Okay, on to the rest of it. But I just think that at this point, I mean, I think if we were gonna have a line where we decided what's patina and what's maybe post patina. So yeah, okay, well, with all the broken and missing pieces, we should have no trouble at all.
No, none.
The rest of it, pretty much puts itself together. It's a regular
Same old shit.